Hey, what's up you guys? So I'm coming here with another video finally, and we're doing a review on the Craft Legacy. Let's get into it.
Okay. Alright, let's do this. I know it feels fast, but it's nice, isn't it? To have a family unit.
Come on in to meet the boys. They're really excited to meet you.
How you feeling about school? You can meet some new friends.
I know why the caged bird sings.
Wow, that is super nasty.
All right, enough. Settle down.
Hey, it happens to everyone.
He's made us all cry at one point or another.
You should come over after school.
What is all this?
This is a ceremony to celebrate you.
Why would you celebrate me?
Because you're out fourth.
Just in time for first period.
This is all just a little crazy. Half the battle of having powers is believing you do. That's why covens have always been important.
If we can do that, what else can we do?
We need to put a spell on Timmy.
We don't want to hurt him though, right?
She's right.
The number one rule of the craft. If a person is a danger to herself or others, they will be bound.
Be careful. A lot of weirdos out here.
We are the weirdos, mister.
But first, of course, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Haymitchmitch, Haymitchmitch, and all the Mitches, and pretty much I do reviews on this channel, and on my main channel, Mitch Lazada, I do more like social political commentary, current events, and everything. So be sure to check out that channel as well as finishing all of the videos on this channel. Okay, so going into the Craft Legacy, we're just gonna go straight into it. 2 thumbs down. This movie sucked. It is woke, and I'm just gonna have a good time just breaking this down because it's trash. Okay, so yeah. Taking a step back, I like the original Craft, okay? So it's my guilty pleasure. A lot of the movies I watch in the 90s, Cruel Intentions, Sister Act, this is one of the movies that I quote a lot with my friends. They're like, these are my gifts. It's only magic, you know? Why are you bleeding? Like all of this stuff, like going into like, oh, it's coming back 3 times 3. And everything. So it is one of my favorite movies I'm talking about. So I haven't seen The Craft in a while, so I'm going off of memory when I'm doing this review, right? But point being is I have such a love and care for the original Craft. I think it was very of the time, you know? You have people who like Neve Campbell and all that stuff. You have who is now FP on Riverdale on that stuff, and so it was very of the time, and I liked it and everything. And it also, like, one of the songs they use in the Craft movie, the original Craft movie, was the same intro song that they use in Charm. So there's like a tie-in, you know, and all this stuff. So again, there's a lot of care that I like with the original movie, and then going into this movie, which let's go into it. Going into this movie, I already saw Tim Pool, like he already mentioned, like this movie was already woke. He talked about the main bad guy being a Jordan Peterson character, and I agree with both. And it made me even watch the movie even more. But even watching the trailer, I was like, the magic here is already like Harry Potter CGI. It's less of Vampire Diaries, a little more realistic. And so I already had problems with the trailer. And then, yeah, so I am gonna go jumping all over the place, so bear with me because there's a lot of things to talk about. But, you know, let's go with some things that are positive, right? And, you know, when it comes to this sequel, it's not a reimagine, it's not a reboot, it is a continuation. And I don't mind it being a different story. That's fine. Like, let's say a good example is Dr. Sleep, right? Which with Ian McGregor talking about The Shining, it's a Shining sequel. It's a totally different movie, but at least they pay homage to the original Shining and talk about The Shining, but it's a definitely different movie. Like this one, they introduce again with the characters, the Four and the Coven and all that stuff, but it's a different movie, and I'll go into all the things where it fails, right? But I think the one good positive I like is somewhat of the character choicing, like, because in the original Craft, like, they're all in their 20s, but they're all playing high school students. These are people who I believe would be in high school, you know? You know, it's like the age group is, I think, is appropriate. So I will give some credit to the cast. And now all the negatives. Again, let's start what I was saying earlier. The main bad guy is David Duchovny playing Jordan Peterson, and he gets to be a warlock or whatever. Which also sucks because they're already overpowered, but he is, I would imagine, experienced warlock against these novice witches. And then they also play into, like, there's like levels, a level 4, a level 3, and a level 4 is someone who can shapeshift. He can shapeshift, so you can imagine that he should be overpowered. He has the powers of telekinesis also, and he has a hard time defeating 4 girls who just got into their powers. And then again, they have super overpowered, and this person, whoever did the video, and I didn't do the research, but you definitely know that this person watched Charm. They have telekinesis, they can freeze time, they can have premonitions. The main girl Lilith has premonitions, if not empathy. They have empathy power. So this is Charm. This is a CW show, right? But they're not, and then obviously they're going to go with the wokeness, which is so stupid, okay? So again, they're already overpowered by just activating their abilities. Also, the naming. I don't even know the names of the girls. At least with the original, I know there's like Nancy and Bonnie and Rachel and Sarah, you know? With this one, I only know it's Lilith, okay? And then we're going to go with Lilith, and the main bad guy is named Adam. So of course, we're going to go with the woke feminism and say Adam versus Lilith. For those who don't know, Lilith has been an icon for feminism. It's used like Lilith was the first wife of Adam in lore, and so she never bowed down to Adam. It's like, this is super woke. Like if you watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, they go also in Lilith. If you watch True Blood, they talk about Lilith too. So all of this Lilith stuff, like already, like you're going super woke. So again, their powers are just super overpowered, right? And then already I take an issue with that already. So let's go with the woke stuff already. So one of the spells is that they take Timmy, and he make them woke. So that's stupid, and that's also drives me nuts. It's like they make him woke, right? And then they talk about like consent when they're watching the video about sex, and then Lilith does a love spell, obviously taking away his consent. So you guys are like making this so like incompatible with your own logic, and then on top of it, like let alone removing his consent. They do this idea in which he's woke, and then they're like all infatuated with him because he's woke. I don't know. I'm not a teenage girl, but I don't imagine the woke guy being attractive.
It's a baby. If someone was raped and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
I meant to get your phone.
Someone call the cops.
Meant to get your phone.
Do not touch me. Someone call the cops.
You know, if he's talking about your feelings and all this stuff, and there's a conversation that guys should be able to talk their feelings, but I would imagine you're going after the bad guy, not the bad guy, like the tough guy, the bad dude, the jock, you know? I would imagine those qualities are what the athlete, you know? I'm not looking for, I would imagine a teenage girl isn't going for the sensitive type, and like, it's problematic. And then obviously obviously he's bi, and then that's appealing. So this is so garbage. Okay, obviously I'm livid again. I'm going all over the place because there's a lot to talk about here. But let's go with actual story, because when it comes down to it, this movie, The Craft Legacy, is a PSA. It's learning about like what is wokeness, how is woke. Then they threw in a song that I didn't even know, like Nokia something princess or something. Like it was so woke, I didn't even know what that is. And they're all having this dance scene, and it's so stupid. But anyway, so this Craft Legacy put wokeness above story, right? So let's talk about themes, right? In the original movie, The Craft, right, you have themes about be careful who you make friends with, you know, be careful what you wish for, you know, with great power comes with great responsibility when it comes to powers. Obviously, they didn't say those lines, but there was an idea in which, you know, Nancy abused her powers, and then Sarah goes into that, like, you abuse your powers, he's taking away your powers, I need to take away your powers, right? And so there was this idea, right, in which you need to be, there is a balance in which all of this happens, and you need to be responsible with the powers that were given to you, whatever. Here, we don't have any of that, you know? Like, they did a spell on Timothy, you know, and there was no consequence because Adam kills him, and there was no reason for Adam to kill him, or Timothy, right? There was no consequence of their powers. They were just using their powers like willy-nilly, whatever. And so, again, there was no lesson to be learned here, right? Whereas in the original movie, okay, so, like, they had to be careful what they wish for. So, like, what? Sarah put a love spell on the guy, FP. I don't know his name in the movie, but I'm gonna say FP because that's who he is in Riverdale. So, obviously, it kind of drew him insane, right? So they need to be careful. Nancy obviously wanted power, and then that she abused it. And then Bonnie and Rachel. Bonnie is the girl with the scar. So she was actually the one that was doing it right. So she just wanted to heal her sickness and grow in beauty. So like she didn't really have any setbacks or consequence. And the last girl, Rachel, she wanted to go against her bully, like make her go bald and all that stuff. And then but she felt bad to the point where her reflection didn't even want to look at her, you know. And so like even though she got what she wanted, so like I think she understood like that was kind of like too much. She just wanted to make her feel bad, but she was obviously going a lot more worse. So again, like, you be careful what you wish for, right? But again, in this new movie, there's none of that. There's no lesson to be learned here. Like, magic is okay, and go about your business. And it was so stupid. And like, oh my gosh. Also, just one real quick thing. In the original movie, they were outcasts. You know, they were witches and they were outcasts in a Catholic school, which is weird. But it's also in this movie there was crosses in the girl's bedroom, and that was also weird. But anyway, like, so they were outcasts. In this movie, they were pretty like attractive young women. You know, they didn't seem like they were the outcasts. You know, like they were hip. You know, like I would imagine, like they looked like they were following the rest of the music, and they weren't the outcasts of the high school, you know. And it's just like, again, it's so stupid. Let's go into what I would change, right? If this is a sequel and it could be still a different movie, you can still do like there's the coven and all that stuff. I would probably go with like there's a different coven. So like let's say they found their fourth and whatever power, and let's say they just, for whatever reason, this girl, and she could still be the daughter of Nancy, and their power is just magnified to the point where they're sucking out another coven's ability, you know? And that would be a cooler thing to watch two covens fight each other, right? And you can learn about how magic works in this world and all this stuff. And so you can go with like another college kids going against with these high school kids, whatever. And then like you're taking away our power and all this stuff, and there could be a fight. I think that could have been a way better movie talking about how the magic works in this universe and all this stuff. Because in this movie they introduce, it's a common thing with the maiden, the crone, and the mother, right? But that's not the mental. In the original craft, they talk about like, which they could talk about different spirits and where they draw their powers, but they don't go into that. They just throw in mishmash or whatever. They have like a box of essential oils and everything, and so it's just so stupid. Like there's no care about. They just wanted. There's no care about this movie or the source material or elaborating how this world works. It's like I said, it's a PSA of teaching you what is wokeness and stuff, everything. Like I said with Dr. Sleep, you know, they talk about The Shining, they talk about how that works, and it's low-key kind of like QAnon, because they are attacking children and taking away their essence and their like their adrenochrome, whatever. And so anyway, that was like an analogy for it. I think maybe woke Hollywood is telling a bit. Anyway, the point is, the world is elaborating on how that works. In the Craft Legacy, we don't have that. We don't have any explanation how magic works, where the powers come from, and it's just really dumb. Closing thoughts, this show should have been end up on a CW, right? This should have been a CW, even though there's already charm already there. And so this is probably like a CW pilot, which is stupid because already like Batwoman they're canceling Ruby Rose for another black woman to play Batwoman, black woman. I don't even know. It's so stupid. It's like, again, when you make these stories, you should need to make the story about the story, not about wokeness. So that's the moral of the story, and this movie totally sucked. Like, I'm just glad we have the original movie. It had good quotes and everything, and so this movie totally sucked. So, well, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out all my other videos as well as my main channel, Mitch Lozada. And thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on my Instagram at Haymitchmitch, and you can follow my joint Instagram at It's Mandatory Fun. Again, I'm also on Parlor, Maverick Mitch, and then see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.